Coach Mike McConathy, we're talking Demon basketball. The Demons coming off a very frustrating defeat Saturday to UCA. Talk about that game.
That's always frustrating when you get a lead on someone. They come back. We had done that on Wednesday to Nichols, and then we had it done to return to us on Saturday. But just didn't make free throws, didn't take care of stopping them in particular situations, especially late in the game. There's a lot of areas in the game which we did do some very good things. We out-rebounded them by 16 rebounds, and just really felt good about that. But we didn't make outside shots and went to zone in the second half. And we took probably little quick shots early against their zone, and then after that we got a little tentative and probably didn't take some shots that we needed to when we did.
What can you take from that needs to be improved in the short term?
Well, I mean, we spent 40 minutes working on zone offense, preparing for our next two opponents, who will be UTSA and McNeese, who both will run a great deal of zone. So we've just got to do a good job of executing and being on the same page, and I think that we'll do a lot better job. And it is one game, and we have to remember that. And I mean, we just have to continue to improve and get better each and every day we go out.
Let's talk about UTSA, a team that surprised everybody by winning the conference tournament last year. And a team that certainly is one of the favorites in the conference this year.
Very big. They run a 1-1-3 zone defense the whole game, similar to what Baylor runs. They've got big people across the back. Creates a difficult situation for you. They don't want to run. They want it to be a 50 to 60 point game, and they'll be just fine there. They dropped one themselves at home a week ago Wednesday to Corpus Christi, who had not won but one game. So I guess Brooks Thompson and I could cry on each other's shoulders.
Well, you took the question out of my mouth. That was not the only surprising outcome Saturday. Talk about the conference race so far.
Well, I mean, UTA has been the big surprise at 4-0, and then, you've got UTSA at 3-1 on the West, and then on our side, 2-1 Northwestern State and 2-1 McNeese State. Lamar dropping a second game to UTA, which was a home contest. It lost on the road to McNeese, so it's wadded up right where I thought it would be.
All right, keys for success on Wednesday.
We got to rebound the basketball well. We got to attack them up and down the floor defensively as well as offensively, and try to speed the game up the best we possibly can. And just encourage one another and play together. And when we do that, we're a pretty effective team.
Shamir Davis, talk about the Demon basketball team. What you guys are doing well right now?
Well, we're trying to execute a lot. We're playing a lot better defense than we have been in the past game. I guess because of conference, we're stepping it up a lot. I feel as though we get a lot of lackadaisical sometimes, mainly in the second half, because we do sub a 5 in, 5 out. And sometimes that does wear down on you mentally. We're trying to wear down the other team, but at the same time, we're kind of getting wore down also. So if we can get through that phase, we'll be all right.
Okay, the Demons are turning the ball over less this year than any time they have under Coach Mike in 13 years. 2 turnovers less a game than we've ever had before. How do you explain that?
We're just taking better shots. We're getting the ball over the court. We do play a fast-paced game. So we know that when we get it over the court that, hey, we may take a shot with 34 seconds left. We may take a shot with 3 seconds left. You never know. But we always say we have to shoot it. If guys in his face, I mean, it's still may go follow your form, go follow through with it, may still go in.
Okay, you have taken over the point guard duties after splitting in the last 2 years. Talk about your evolution as the point guard.
I think I've got a lot better with my composure. Coming up behind Michael and Logan and Devon, it kind of helped groom me through the way. Seeing those guys in the different circumstances they had to come through on the court, I was in the background, pushing them through, pushing through their tough times. Now I'm the one that needs to get pushed through the tough times, and I see what they were feeling then. So now I kind of take that role, take it very responsibly, because in practice I'm always, if I mess up a play, I take it very hard. I can't have any mislapses, because if the head of the ship is having mislapses, then all the guys are having mislapses. So I think I'm doing a pretty good job with it so far.
All right, talk to me about your growth as a scorer and offensive threat.
Well, I feel as though I could always score the ball, but I just had a role since I've been here. My role was to come in, play a little defense, get the ball across half court, and run the sets. I feel as though I could score it when my team needs me to, or I could set up the plays when my team needs me to. I could really just do whatever they need me, whatever coach tells me. I think I can feel and do it.
All right, now let's talk about the team coming off the frustrating loss Saturday, going to San Antonio to play a team that last time you played them kind of broke your hearts.
Yeah, the game against UCA, they came in, they fought through 17-point deficit and still, came out. So we have to give kudos to them for not giving up. Great coach over there, great coaching style. So we just have to bounce back with that loss. Up 17, give one away hurts, leave a bad taste in your mouth. And then going to a place like UTSA, who left a even more bad taste in your mouth last year. So we're just trying to ramble both of those together and still come out with a victory, which is going to be hard going in their place, which is a very good team. We're going to try to pull this one off.
What do you know about them and the style of play you're going to face?
They play a lot of zone. They have a lot of big guys, new faces over there, 2 new starters over there. So we know that who can score. So we know that they always have scoring power all the time. And when we look at the guys, you tend to say, oh, he can't do this, he can't do that. Any guy can beat you over there. Like they showed in the conference tournament last year. It doesn't matter. Guys off the bench can come score 20, 30. It doesn't matter with them. They coach, they like to, he's the player's coach. So we just have to keep a guy on everybody on the scouting report.
All right, what about going against another zone defense after struggling against one on Saturday?
I think we have to do a better preparation in practice as far as the players. I think coaches are doing a great job with getting us where we need to be, showing us film, walking through it. I think we just have to take a more responsive role into getting it done. All the guys are some not bought in at times, and we have to take that more responsibly because if you're not bought in on this one play, that one play could cost us with like 3 seconds left in the game. So we all have to be focused at all times.
Shamir Davis. James Hulbin, junior forward for the Demon basketball team. Let's talk about where the Demons stand right now.
On our side, we're currently still in first place, but as we all know, we let one get away from us this past Saturday. But, like Coach Mike said, it's only one game, but we still let one get away. We shouldn't let it get away.
What did you learn from that game?
Got to learn how to close games out. Can't take nobody lightly. We was up at 14 points one time, so we just got to, once you have your opponent down, you just got to keep them down.
Going against that zone defense, the offense struggled. You're one of the guys who can really score from outside. What happened in your estimation?
Well, a lot of teams, seem to throw zone as, because they said they won't play us man because we're too athletic for them to play man. So far as them playing zone, they figure that's our weakness. So when shots aren't falling, we had to find something else to work, but they continue to stick with the zone.
Well, UTSA is very much a zone team Wednesday night. Talk about the challenges the Roadrunners present in San Antonio.
Coach Mike is preparing as well. He's preparing as well, so we worked on a lot of zone stuff this morning in practice. So we're getting prepared, so we're pretty much ready for whatever they throw at us.
Does that loss in the conference tournament last year to them where you had a 14-point lead with 7 minutes left, I know it's on your mind a little bit, but does it play any role in this game at all?
Yeah, it's personal. It's a personal thing, So I feel we owe them something from last year, So they know they got it there with a lucky one.
All right, let's talk about you, your evolution into the scorer that we were hoping you would become, and most of all, your three-point shooting prowess has just exploded. You're one of the better three-point shooters in the conference this year. How has that developed for you?
Getting in extra shots, after practice. Coach Mike always say, need to get in shots, So I'm always working with Coach Lewis after every practice. I'm at least an hour every day after practice working on my form and everything.
Now, how do you maintain that inside power, though? You're also a good rebounder for the team and a very good post defender. Talk about being an outside scorer but an inside defender.
Also, Coach Lewis brings out the pass to beat me up every now and then, so I also keep that physical mindset also.
All right. Well, Coach Jennifer Graf, the Lady Demon basketball coach, looking forward to Wednesday night home game. And looking back at last week's action, Coach Graf, Central Arkansas, you knew going into that game up in Conway they were very, very good. And obviously they asserted themselves against your injury-depleted team. What can you say about that game that you learned?
Well, I learned so far that we still don't have anybody else healthy to be able to go in. It was a extremely difficult matchup for us. Not to start. You know, we've got two post players that are healthy and can play, and Trudy Armstead and Jasmine Upchurch, and they match up really well with their post. And you know, he's got 4 kids on their roster, 6'1" or above, and do a good job of posting up deep inside. And when we had to go to our bench, we got in a little bit of foul trouble. That obviously was pretty difficult for us. Our 5'7" doesn't match up with their 6'1", 6'2", you know, especially with the Player of the Year in the conference. And you know, so they did exactly what they needed to do to hit the shots that they needed. You know, and we don't match up against that. You know, so on the offensive end, we didn't execute nearly as well as we needed to as well. So we've got to get back into practice and make sure that we're able to execute, because defensively we are giving up too many points, and some of that has to do with our matchup problems. So we have to understand that we have to be scrappier than the other team and be able to execute on the offensive end.
Okay, we talked a lot about your liabilities. Let's talk about your assets.
Well, you know, we've got, I think our 2 post players are playing extremely well. Jasmine Upchurch and Trudy Armstead have really upped their game, you know, in a situation where they have to. I think Trudy played extremely well. She plays very physical, and that's a kid that's probably playing on a broken leg, per se, with a rod in her shin. She's extremely tough, and, you know, we're looking to get her the ball a lot more into our offense, because she's playing so well with her back to the basket. Jasmine Upchurch has really upped her game since the Christmas break as well. You know, every time she touches it and goes up, she's a 50%, you know, shooter from the floor. So that's a kid we need the ball in her hands a lot more often. And, you know, so they've really upped their game. In our guard play, our guards are doing a great job of attacking the basket. You know, Jordi James is one that she can score in a variety of ways, and so she makes it really difficult for another team to be able to defend her. Meredith Graf is having to do a little bit of everything. She's shooting the ball extremely well still, and, you know, she's having to go down into the post and in the guard position, which, like you said, you talk about assets. They have to defend a guard. When we have to go to a 4-guard lineup, the other team still has to defend that, and I think we need to do a little bit better job of taking advantage of that.
All right, is it a question of tempo for your team? Can you play fast?
We love to play fast. That's the best way that we score. The problem with it is we can't play fast for 40 minutes. We have to pick and choose when we want to go on runs. We have to pick and choose, you know, when we want that tempo to be at an upper pace. And that's one thing that we're still kind of learning how to do. We want to play at that up tempo the entire time. And my guards can push the ball down the floor, but with only 2 post players in the game that have to play 40 minutes, that's where we have to choose when we want to run and when we don't. Wednesday's going to be a little bit different against San Antonio, who doesn't necessarily want to run. They walk the ball up the floor a lot, which helps us out some defensively, hopefully. So we're able to match up with them on Wednesday. So, and like I said, going into Wednesday, we need to pick up the tempo some in order to kind of take them out of their game and then control it on our end.
Okay, also Wednesday you will be at home with the pep band, with students. Talk about the positive impact that could be for your team.
Well, you know, last Wednesday against Nichols, I thought the environment was great in the gym with all the new additions. You know, with the band, the cheerleaders, everybody was there. I felt like the crowd was really good and was into it, and obviously that helps. And it is much better being at home, that's for sure. And so we have to kind of learn from the past, but put it behind us and go into Wednesday's game with a fresh, focused mindset. And then, like you said, we are in our gym with our pep band, our crowd, which does a great job, and we just have to take advantage of that.
Thanks. Jordi James, Lady Demon basketball guard. Talk about your team's status right now.
Well, we've started conference off kind of slow. We're 0-3 right now, but we look this next game to change that and get our first win in conference and try and turn this conference standings around.
Talk about your team's approach. I mean, I know you're frustrated at the way things have started. You're frustrated with the personnel challenges, with injuries. How can you maintain an upbeat approach and go do the things you need to do to win Wednesday, win down the road?
Well, we take each game one at a time, and we prepare for each team how we need to, scouting report, go through it in practice. We just got to prepare ourselves a little more and put the effort that we need to put out there on the court and work as a team to actually get a win in conference.
One good thing, there are no complaints about playing time.
That is very true. We all get plenty of playing time. Sometimes we might want a break, but we get enough.
Now, how do you handle that? Do you budget yourself during a game? Do you try to sneak in a little bit of less than full speed when you know you can, or do you just bust it and let it all out? How do you handle this additional work?
Well, I'm kind of used to playing the whole game, but for some of the other players, I think we do take our time off because obviously we mess up during the game, and I think that's when we do take our personal breaks. But we need to learn to take advantage of our media timeouts and our team timeouts. That's when we need to get our actual rest and not in the game.
All right. Now you do have the experience of playing buzzer to buzzer. Have you been able to, as an older player on the team, advise some of the younger folks about how to do this?
We haven't really talked about it, basically just because our bodies are different. But, I mean, we got each other's back and tell each other to keep pushing throughout the game.
What do you think this team's strengths are right now?
Our strengths, we know our roles, definitely. Each of us knows if we're a scorer, if we're, just to bring the ball down the court. Basically, we can push the ball. When we get a fast break, we're very good at executing that and actually running our offense. We're pretty good at that. We just have a couple downfalls that we let get to us.
What's going to get this team over the hump and leave you walking off the floor smiling?
I think it's a team effort in actually getting a win. I think once we get a win in conference, we're just going to keep going and get better.
Do you keep in context that it's just 3 games into a 16-game conference season?
Oh, yes. We were just talking about that the other day after the game. We were like, well, we're at the bottom of the standings right now, but we have so many games left, and we can easily turn it around.